These are our notes on parallel lines and proportions. If two parallel lines are cut by multiple transversals, then the transversals are cut proportionally. So we can see here, we've got our parallel lines and our transversals, and it shows here that CG, right here, CG, over CB would be equal to EF over ED. Or we could have BC over DE, and we could set that equal to CG over EF. In this example here, we can see that we have our two parallel lines. Our transversals would be on the side, so we can set them up. We'd set up our proportions. So here we could take 18 over, there's 18 over x plus. And in this case, we'd have to take the 18 and the 6 because that would be the length of this whole side. So x plus 24. And we'd set that equal to 16, here's our 16, over the length of the whole entire side would be 16 plus 6, so over 22. And when we cross multiply, we would get 396, and that would be equal to 16x plus 384. And then we would just subtract our 384 from both sides, which would leave us with 12 equals 16x. Divide your 16 off, and we would get that x equals 3/4. If we reduce this down to 3/4, or 0.75 would be our answer for x. On our next example, we have to solve for x and find the length of NP. So we can see our parallel lines and our transversals here. So to set this up to solve for x, which is right here, we can take 4 divided by 10, here's our 4 over 10, and set that equal to 6 over 7x minus 6. And when we cross multiply here, we would get 60 equals 28x minus 24. And then we would just add our 24 to each side. And we would get 84 equals 28x. Divide our 28 off from both sides, and we would solve for that to find that x equals 3. So that's our x value, but it also asked us to find the length of NP. So this would be NP. So we'd have to take this 3 back up, plug it in, and we'd get 7 times 3 equals 21 minus 6. But then down here we have plus 6. So we would put for that NP equals 21. On our last example here, it says if a segment hits the midpoints of two sides of a triangle, then it's half of the third side. So we can see here, we've got this, we've got our midpoints. Here's your 3x plus 7. So if this is half the length of this, then to solve for x, we can set it up by saying 2 times 3x plus 7 equals 30x minus 8. And then we can solve from there. So here we're going to get 6x plus 14 equals 30x minus 8. And then we can add 8 to both sides, and we can actually subtract the 6x. And we'll be left with 22 equals 24, 24 x. Divide off your 24, and we would find that x equals 11 over 12, 11 twelfths, or decimal form, that would be 0.92. And that's what we're going to do to solve for those, and this would be your answer that you would get. So that's what we do to solve for parallel lines and proportions.